And here we go. Game number 2 is starting. Up here at 12 o'clock, our Peruvian Terran, it is TerrOr. And his opponent, on the left-hand side, from Hungary, it's Sziky. All right. So a Terran versus ZERG here on Sylphid. It's kind of cool to see Sziky pick Sylphid because I don't think that Sylphid... Well, it matters the spawns, okay? It matters the spawns for exactly which way the balance kind of goes. Like, if does it go a little bit more ZERG favored or something like that. But it's a pretty standard map. It's a pretty comfortable map for everyone. I made a pretty comfortable map pool, to be honest. Butter, Sylphid, Paradiso, Polypoid, and Vermeer. So I guess part of that is me not letting any of these crazy ASL maps in, but a more balanced pool overall. But yeah, he's chosen... oh god, a 4-8 racks. Okay. He has chosen this map Sylphid, and one thing I gotta say is Sziky, I think, is incredibly strong. If you ask me who I think is going to win this group, I would say Sziky. TerrOr definitely has some interesting builds in this matchup, but I think if Sziky doesn't get crippled in the early game, like look at this, he's going pool first. I think if he doesn't get crippled in the early game, he beats TerrOr most of the time. And Jaeyun has very good PvZ, I think. But yeah, Sziky is... Now, I actually haven't said this to anyone, but, like, I've been casting a lot more of the top foreigners lately. I've played against them a lot more lately. I actually feel like Sziky might be the best non-Korean player. Well, not counting Mihu, of course. But, like, he's incredibly, incredibly strong. I know that he's been eliminated a lot of times by, like, Bonneth or DeWalt over the years, right? But I think he's incredibly good. So... yeah, I feel like he is definitely one of the favorites here for this tournament. Now, the Marine Rush is going to commence, but it is a pool first, so shouldn't do too much. Sorry. It's just a little side thing. But yeah, okay, so... with the Lings coming out, like, you have to pull back as TerrOr. Now, this particular 8 barracks has a factory follow-up. He's actually walked 2 Marines around. This is kind of interesting, right? Because if these Zerglings go up to the main base, it's very annoying. He is going to go ahead and wall, and this is a Zergling tight wall. You can see these little, like, tree trunks. This is always Zergling tight. This is always Zergling tight, and then you pop a Marine out. But it is very annoying to have to deal with that. But the fact that he runs 2 Marines around means that he's expecting the Lings to come and try to harass him. So that's like a very kind of cool play, a big IQ play here from TerrOr, and we'll see what he can get done with those 2 Marines. He actually starts a bunker, which is like, this is kind of funny. He might actually get really good damage here. There's a possibility. Let's see what he can target down as far as drones go. If he gets 2 drones, he's going to be really happy about it. Oh, maybe he won't. A lot of damage being put out immediately. Okay, 1 drone. Yeah, it looks like it's only going to be 1. He is going to end up losing the Marines. The SCV is not going to do too much, and obviously that bunker has to be canceled. Now, a Vulture on the way. This is still... okay, he stops mining so much. He had multiple SCVs mining, so I was wondering about that, but it looks like he got just enough so he can afford a Wraith when this comes out. So it looks like it is just going to be a 1-1-1. 1-1-1s have gained a lot of popularity in the pro scene lately again. If you guys recall, they were extremely popular back in, like, 2018, I want to say. 2018, 2019, maybe? Where Flash was really working on the 1-1-1 a lot. And it actually got a lot of Zergs to switch over to 2-hatch, which has been the standard metagame for 4 to 5 years at this point. But more recently, oh my god, that Marine was standing too close and got picked off. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I can't believe that. Zergling range is not 0, by the way. But yeah, I can't believe that got picked off. Anyways, the 1-1-1 builds are coming back, like, pretty popularly right now. There's a lot of weird tech builds from ZERG. I think there's a certain level of comfort getting all this early game tech as Terran to figure out what's going on and dealing with it. All right, so the Vulture comes up and is going to be able to kill off all the Lings, of course. Here comes that Wraith. Command center is almost done in the main base. We have Hydras popping out. No Spire or anything, by the way. You know, we've seen, because there was a lot of 1-1-1 play in ASL this past season, we saw a lot of situations where there was a Hydralisk Den to prevent, like, damage from Vultures and Wraiths. One thing that I really liked from the ASL season, I believe it was Sulky, and then I think Hero did it once as well, is where they make not just the Hydralisk Den, but also a very quick Spire. Now, this Spire is starting further ahead than what I'm talking about, right? Like, this is a much later Spire, so that gives TerrOr more time. But if you can trick your opponent into thinking that you're going Hydras and going to attack them, but you're actually going Mutas, you'll win every time. Like, it is so powerful, right? Like, right now you see Siege mode as well as a Siege tank. Marines being made. He did get the Wraith out and he repairs it, so he is going to be able to scout again and hopefully find that Spire. But if you're doing things like making anti-Hydra or anti-Lurker, and your opponent goes Mutas, you just lose instantly. Like, Mutas need to be countered fully with everything you're doing in this day and age. You can't just hold it off with, like, a couple missile turrets or something. So SCVs and Vulture in position. All this is in position to stop a big Hydra bust. Obviously, TerrOr doesn't know exactly what's going on. The Spire is still coming. I got to tell you guys what. I'm liking this for Sziky right now. This Spire is going to be finishing. No engineering bay. No engineering bay. There it is. Okay, okay. That is... Actually, that's going to be just in time. He'll literally have the turrets just in time, I think. My God, that is as close as you can really get. Okay, so flying through, he's going to see that Spire. And now he's certainly going to make, well, probably a Valkyrie. Like, you could go Cloak and Wraith, but that generally isn't going to be that good here. He already has the Armory, so yeah, it looks like his plan was Valkyrie all along. He's going to have to spam out a bunch of turrets, though. The Wraith being kind of caught in the middle of the map here from these Speed Hydras. First Valkyrie on the way, and he's got to get those turrets started ASAP. As long as you start the turrets by the time the Mutas hatch, on most maps and most positions, they'll be up just as the Mutas get there. Now, these started a little bit after they hatched, so unfortunately for him, these are going to come up, but there's only 4. So he can't one-shot SCV, so he needs 2 volleys. Every second here really counts. So you can see just barely doesn't get that up. The single Goliath here doing its best. Going to go ahead and repair, and the Valkyrie pops out. All right. Looks like he's held it. Okay, so TerrOr just barely holding on to these very sharp timings here from Sziky. Now, Sziky is getting +1 Mutalisk attack. Third base down here. Kind of a faraway expansion. He now has 8 Mutas, so he can start targeting down SCVs. It takes 7 Mutas to one-shot an SCV, so as long as you have 7 or more, very good to dive in. Double factory on the way, so this is going to be straight up a mech build from TerrOr. Oh, that's kind of exciting. Haven't seen Sziky against mech all that much, and it's like a funky opener into mech here as well. Can't say that I blame him. It doesn't feel like there's anything very much better for TerrOr to do in this position. By the way, he canceled his +1 attack and added +1 carapace because of the Valkyries. Not something you see very often. Normally when you start an attack upgrade and it's gone for a bit, like the time investment, you just let it finish. But going up into that definitely is going to be nice. Notice that +1 armor is on the way here for TerrOr. Now, 2 Valkyries coming up. One thing about the +1 armor, by the way, which I am not really explaining very well. The +1 armor works very well on Goliaths. Goliaths don't really care about the +1 attack against Zerg so much, but it takes away 20% of Zergling damage. It takes away 3 damage. Excuse me. Well, actually, it's like 2.5 damage from Mutalisk attacks as well. So generally, if you're going to go heavy Goliaths, and especially if you're planning on ending the game without getting a science facility, the +1 armor is actually generally better than the +1 attack against Zerg. Whereas overall in a longer game, attack is a better upgrade. So, you know, if you're planning on going for like science facility, if you're planning on making the game a big long macro game, then that's going to be a better situation for you. Nice snipe there from Sziky. Gets the other Valkyrie. And now we're just kind of on pure Goliath. The SCV count, not super hot. 36 SCVs. It's like manageable, but you can see that as far as Sziky goes, 38 drones. Definitely looking very good macro-wise. He's got a very, very healthy economy. The 3 bases. Got a little bit of static D-up. Not that there's any harassment on the way. You know, if it is a macro mech build, you're generally going to get vulture speed rather quickly and try to harass with it. But in this particular game, yeah, looks like it's just going to be mass Goliaths, maybe a couple siege tanks and a push. Now, 3 lurkers there. The Marines walk out and get completely destroyed, which is okay. The Marines don't really mean that much, but now TerrOr knows that he needs detection. And he goes in. This is why he's making the science facility, I think, is because he needs detection. He doesn't have comm stats yet. So, like, he needs to get comm stats, but 2 scans is enough to get across the map, and he needs to do this attack very soon. So, gonna go ahead, siege up, start taking a slightly more forward position. He is getting that vulture speed. No reason not to get it. It might come in handy. Ooh, another snipe on another Valkyrie there. Very, very painful for TerrOr. Sziky right now definitely looking to be in control of this game. But with the amount of Goliaths that are coming out, like sometimes you hit that critical mass and it's really hard for ZERG to kill. I do wonder if he does afford the science vessel, which has yet to be seen. Because look, you can put like a lurker here and then like a lurker here and then like a lurker here. So you can like run out scans like very, very well. But if you get that vessel, we've seen that he's lost like 3 Valkyries to Scourge so far. Goliaths don't kill Scourge quickly, right? So it's a little bit of an issue. It's very hard to target down Scourge quickly with Goliaths. And if he ends up losing even 1 vessel, I think the game is over. Now, this is a huge amount of mutas going for a counterattack. I love this play here from Sziky. Flies in, kills off a turret immediately. Gonna get another one. Now, do you turn around? He's killing off these lurkers with a scan right there. But look, the mutas are destroying everything. Even if you're popping out 4 or 5 Goliaths at a time here, it's not going to be enough to deal with these mutalisks. Sziky in complete control of this game, diving on top of TerrOr's main. And that means that all we have left for TerrOr here is this one attack. And honestly, just the amount of damage he's taking from the lurkers on his Goliaths, like this game feels just so completely over at the moment. Okay, well, he loses that vessel. It's bad, guys. It's really bad. Sziky just defending everything very, very well. Some good harassment, some good counterattacks also. And TerrOr not going to be able to get anything done here with this push, I don't think. The Defilers are going to be ready. By the time he breaks through everything, Consume will be done. And he can just utilize those Dark Swarms to kind of push to victory. A bunch of Lings kind of bleeding out right now, which is not what you want to see. Command Center actually got picked off by those mutas as well. A few Lurkers coming up. Almost Consume, almost. This is really TerrOr's last moment here. Maybe if he can kill all the lurkers, there could be some sort of shot. And the mutas fly in here as well. But honestly, yeah, the mutas are enough. GG is called. And that is going to be that. Sziky takes his first map win.